Hi, my name is Mark, and I just wanted to share a bit about my life so far. So, I'm about to turn 30 years old next month, and that's definitely super exciting. But I wanted to share a bit about my past and currently what's going on in my life right now. I come from an extremely grateful family, and I'm just so happy for everything that I have in life and for anybody in this world that possibly does care for me. I truly love everybody. I'm born and raised in San Diego, California, and I moved to Phoenix, Arizona about 6 years ago or so. It's kind of hard for me to remember. I have a lot of issues with my memory, but April 5th, 2021, I was involved in a very serious crash, and it was the first crash of my entire life that so, that it totally changed my life forever moving on, and I couldn't have ever expected that coming. I was really lucky at the time. I was driving my dream car. I had built the car from the ground up from a performance shop that was nearby that I became very close friends with. And I was really involved in the car community, and we would go on drives together in fun road trips, and it was just a really good way to get to know one another and make connections that way. And when my crash happened, I didn't realize anything until somebody was pulling me out of my passenger window in my car. I was T-boned by somebody going 50 miles an hour, and I was hit on the passenger midsection of the car, right behind, right, starting right where my back and neck is. Luckily, I did not have a lot of injuries from the crash. I suffered a lot of pain, and I have a problem with a specific muscle in my neck, and that causes me pain all the time. And I also have a lot of bruising on my right thigh, and that has been that way since the crash. And I've been told that without cosmetic surgery or something like that, that bruising will stay that way for the rest of my life, if not get worse. The crash has just changed everything. It's so hard for me to even keep track of my own thoughts right now, to be completely honest with whoever is possibly watching this or cares. I'm grateful for everybody. But what ultimately happened with the crash is I developed the worst PTSD of my entire life. And I've never had PTSD before that. And I truly know what PTSD is now because I'm currently living it, unfortunately. Every single night since my crash of April 5th, 2021, I have nightmares every night of being hit by cars, being in crashes, my exact car crash in different states, different scenarios, but I'm always being T-boned at that kind of speed, 50 miles an hour in the same scenario. And a lot of times I wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning and I'm just out of breath. I'm in a pool of sweat in my bed, and I physically feel like I'm in that accident, but it's all in my head. And every single time I'm in a car, it is the worst possible feeling. It's like being in a jail cell, but luckily I've never been in one. But I'm so scared of every car around me, everything. I'm always looking for potential possible, threats, by cars or collisions from any direction. I can't stay calm. I can't stay relaxed. It's not fun to be in a car anymore. That's the truth. But back to the injuries from the accident. In my neck area, right over here, it's probably hard for you to see, but there's a muscle right here. And my neck is beyond tight in that area due to that muscle. And due to that tightness in that area of my neck, it has decreased a lot of the blood flow to my brain, unfortunately. That's something I've learned in the past couple of months. On top of that, about a year and a half ago, I started to have unknown losses of consciousness, where I would just completely fall to the floor or fall and hit my head on the table, situations like that. Luckily, I've always had somebody by my side when those events have occurred, and I'm very, very thankful for that. It's the scariest situation possible when you just wake up and you're just drenched in sweat, your heart's racing, you don't know where you are. It takes me about 15 seconds for my blurry vision once the event occurs to see where I am, who I'm with, and all of that kind of stuff. And it's just too scary. I hate going through that. So they put me on a medication for seizures because that's what they thought I possibly had at the time. And I don't have seizures, but what was I gonna say? Sorry. I'm really bad with my memory. I've had 8 episodes since then where I have lost consciousness, and it's been pretty much the same thing each time. I just have to go to the hospital. They don't really know what's going on with me, and they usually discharge me within like 3-4 hours, unfortunately, and I'm just there praying for help because I don't want this to ever occur in my entire life. It's too scary. I feel like I'm going to die each time it happens. I never know what's going to happen because I have a lot of health issues right now. I recently just did a 5-day study at a hospital nearby where they were trying to force seizures upon me in my brain, where I had 24 things hooked up to my head for 5 days straight, where I couldn't move outside of the room whatsoever. And they were trying to force seizures upon me by sleep deprivation, where we were only allowed to sleep 4 hours a night. Bedtime was at 2 a.m. and they woke us up at 6 a.m. and we were allowed to have 90-minute naps at most for the entire day before we could go to sleep. It was one of the toughest things I've probably been through, besides falling to the ground each time I've lost consciousness. Falling to the ground and not knowing why, not knowing where you are, not knowing who you're with. That's scarier than the crash I was in. But because of the crash, these are all the after effects I'm currently dealing with and have to just understand and de- deal with and try to move on in the most positive way I can in my entire life. Things have been extremely tough. They really have. One thing I used to do, which was my everything, was fish. I loved fishing for bass. Bass fishing was my favorite thing for probably 8 years. It still is my favorite thing, but I'm not allowed to do any physical activities. I'm not allowed to be in the heat. I can't go fishing whatsoever. That's not a possibility for me anytime soon. I'm not allowed well, I am allowed to watch TV and play games and stuff, but those events make me too dizzy. And that's one of the reasons why I'm wearing sunglasses right now, by the way, is because bright lights and flashing things are uh, basically any kind of light really bothers my eyes. And kind of, that kind of, when I get really dizzy because of the lights, that kind of sometimes starts a couple of episodes I've had before. So I try to prevent that as much as I can by wearing sunglasses inside. But I'm just trying to do the best I possibly can in life. I have an appointment in 2 days from now, an appointment 4 days after that, because they possibly think that there's something going on with my heart right now where I'm having too slow of heartbeats and then too fast of heartbeats. There's really no like middle ground. It's hard to explain. So they're gonna put me on something that I keep on me. It's like the size of a phone, and that gives the doctors and stuff information while I'm not, in the hospital. I'm in my apartment for them to understand and possibly see what's going on to treat me better. But for now, I can't do anything. I'm just in my apartment. It feels like a jail cell. I'm just in here all day, not doing basically anything, taking a lot of naps due to the medication I'm on, sleeping a lot, can't watch TV, can't fish, can't drive. Yeah, that's something I forgot to say. I haven't been allowed to drive since April 19th of this year because they they said I had a seizure, so they had to call the DMV. They actually called the DMV within 30 minutes of me getting to the hospital, and I guess they suspended my driver's license. And I used to love driving everywhere, and I bought the safest car in the world at the time to prevent anything from happening to me. I just wanted to be in the safest shell possible. So my car just sits in the garage, but I can't wait to drive it again, hopefully in the next few months or year. I just don't know. Time just flies by for me right now, but I can't do anything. So I just wanted to make this video and talk about my life so far. My name is Mark once again. And for whoever is watching this or does watch this, I'm very thankful. You mean a lot to me. there haven't been a lot of people there for me at all. My family has been, some friends have been, but besides that, there's been nobody. So I'm so thankful for whoever is watching this, taking the time out of their own day to watch this video of me just talking about my life. But I'm hoping to make more videos kind of on about my journey through this just mess and quicksand I feel like I'm in every single day. But please like and subscribe, and I hope that things get better for me, and I'm very thankful for anybody that is watching this, and you can comment and ask me things. I'm one of the most open people out there. I have nothing to hide. I'm thankful for everybody. I love the life that I have so far. I hope the best for everybody. And that's it. Peace, guys.